Oh, hello there. La 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 la. I've been singing all morning like a fucking idiot, honestly. And I've just annoyed myself to the point that I feel like I should force my annoying self on other people because I can't handle myself alone. So I feel like going live, and if somebody else joins me, then they can be annoyed by me, and then I'm only annoyed 50%. Does that make sense? Does that work? Is that the way those numbers work? Good morning, everyone. It's a beautiful morning here in Tasmania. It's 7:07 a.m. Delightful 11 degrees Celsius. And we're heading to Hobart Town. Flight should be somewhere between 35 and 45 minutes if conditions are good. Arriving in Hobart to a pleasant 14 degrees Celsius. Not as warm as it was yesterday, but still skinny water. So yeah, I keep singing. I think it's spring. Spring is springing, like the 1st of September is the official morning. Deb, share your irritation. My irritation is me. I'm my irritation. That's why I've gone live, because I've been skipping and singing and just annoying the hell out of myself. And I figure, like, even Sunny's looking at me like, what the fuck is wrong with you? And I'm thinking, you might be onto something there, Kat. Hey, Emily. Oh, you remembered capital C. You're learning the ways of Better Call Tour. Have you got a day like this, Emily? Bit of rainage. I'm happy. It's only spitting though at the moment. But if it rains a bit heavier and tops up the tanks, got to be happy with that, right? Although my tank is pretty full still. It hasn't really, like, whenever we've had, whenever my tank started to go down a little bit, we've had a little bit of rain to just top it back up. It's been quite nice. I think in nearly 8 years at my place, I've only had to top up my tanks 5 times. It's not bad. You're stuck in hospital? Well, lucky for you, I'm doing a really lame version of carpool karaoke, because it's basically just going to be me picking random songs and singing and seeing if they inspire conversation. Because I've been singing like everybody's listening this morning, and only Sunny was. Just the shift in the weather yesterday, it's just like, hey, bring on the spring. I hope you're okay, Emily. Or whoever if you're visiting someone or whatever's going on, sending out positive vibes. Being annoyed with glee is excellent. I just figured if I go live, I can dilute the amount of irritation that's been thrown in my general direction. So rather than me just annoying myself, I can share the annoyance with you guys, and then it will dilute it a bit. Because I've had to put up with my peppiness since 5:30. We're approaching the 2-hour mark of me just being ridiculously peppy and bouncy and skippity. Oh, little Miss is unwell. Oh, I hope she's on the mend soon, Emily. That must be scary. Yeah, no rain for Deb, but a bit of rain at Dodgers is all right, yeah? Your tanks have stayed full also. Yeah, it's been great. But lots of love to you, Emily and little Miss, and things hopefully she turns a corner and things settle down a bit. That's scary. I was saying to my sister on the weekend, if I'd been a parent, like, I know parents worry all the time, but if I'd been a parent, I would have been. I mean, I'm not a big worrier, but I worry about people and animals and their well-being, and it would have just Just not in town. Well, Deb, I mean, I'm sending out positive vibes, but you and I both know where the shittiest weather is most likely to be. Not in the little microclimates we live in, Dales. You know that place at the foot of the mountain? Yeah, that place. Hobart's so fucking cold compared to down here. I've just walked out of my house and taken off my little sort of, it's not even a coat, it's like a cardigan, but it's smart. It's wool, but it's like a jacket. But it's soft like a cardigan. I can't describe it. It's corporate, it's lovely, but it's not like a winter coat. And I had a little cardigan as well because our office yesterday was so cold. But I've peeled both of them off. I'm just driving along in my bra. No, I'm kidding. I'm not. My mum drove in her bra once and got pulled over for speeding, and the cop let her off. You've got to flaunt it, I say. Those were the good old days. Did that? Oh God! Arrest that police officer. He ogled her boobies and gave her, didn't even notice her face and told her to drive on, lady. But maybe wear a top next time. um, Lady Gaga got her boobs, and she was being interviewed by a couple of people, but in the middle of the interview, she's pointed out one of the interviewers, she's like, whatever his name is, can't stop looking at my boobies. And he burst out laughing. He said, I'm really sorry, I'm trying not to, but my eyes just keep going back there. And they all had a laugh, and I thought, how fucking refreshing that, people can just be real and laugh about it still. Like, Lady Gaga wasn't offended. She's the one who pointed it out. And this guy was apologetic but laughing too. Like, because it was funny, he couldn't stop looking. So then she pulled her hair back to give him a full-on, here's the whole thing. But it was just in a sea of YouTube shorts where everyone's talking about pronouns and everyone's getting offended and everyone's getting fired up on behalf of other people who aren't offended. And it was so nice just to see a clip of an interview where people were just being real. She didn't slap him up with some sexual harassment charge. I mean, her tits look fucking spectacular. I'm not even into chicks, and I could see why he kept looking at them. They looked amazing in these shells. But it was so refreshing to just see people being real and laughing and admitting we're people, It was basically, I am a dude, your tits are spectacular, I can't stop looking at them. He's like, I'm trying really hard to not look at them. I'm telling my eyes, do not go there. And then they do. And it was just fun and innocent. There was nothing sleazy about it. I wasn't going to have a rant, and now here I am. I just feel, as you know, I just feel so disappointed how fucking serious and angry people are and have become when, we grew up in an era where everything that could potentially kill us, we were exposed to repeatedly. And people laughed, at people just being people. But these days, it's hard to laugh at most people being people because they're all angry and argumentative and offended. It was just so refreshing to see a little clip video of people just having fun. And no one was offended. Gaga didn't run off to the police and press charges. The guy wasn't sleazy. He was lovely. Oh, diabetes. Oh, poor, it does suck. Poor little thing. I hope she's better soon. I had a partner who was diabetic from a very early age. Like he'd lived with it his whole life. It was a fairly traumatic thing to witness, let alone feeling what he must have been going through. And he was a doctor and had access to all the latest things to help him, and just it just interfered with every aspect of his life constantly. He never got a break from it, but he was amazing. He couldn't be part of Medicine Sans Frontiere because of his diabetes. Like you have to be diabetes free and probably other conditions as well. So he and a group of other doctors who were all diabetic as well created a group like Medicine Sans Frontiere where they would go to developing countries and train the nurses and doctors because they couldn't go with this other organisation. And he climbed mountains, and then, yeah, we went. That's how I got to go to Mongolia. He was over there with other doctors and anaesthetists teaching the Mongolian medical profession stuff. So he used it, for good. But yeah, every day we were together, it affected him in some way, and it was horrible. I mean, for him, his attitude was, well, I've never known anything else. But to watch it, to witness it, it was just, it was traumatic at times. Yeah, I wasn't going to mention anything, Deb, but Deb would definitely know what you're going through as well, Emily. Diagnosed at age 4. I don't think Stephen was that young, but he was more like Deb's age, I think. But who knows how long he'd been diabetic and hadn't been diagnosed. But his attitude was that he'd pretty much known it his whole life. But yeah, I can't remember what age. But he was young. He was not, he was in primary school. He wasn't an adult, like a teenager or an adult. Poor little girl. We're all sending much love. I'll find a really bad song to sing to cheer her up. But just on those, getting a bit heavier, the rain, the closer to town I'm getting, Deb, soz, but Cyril's got, I'm almost contemplating putting my wipers on permanent wipe. G'day, Cement Shoes. How are you, Grover? Hey, check this out, guys. I literally left home again 5 minutes later than I normally do. Again, I was a bit curious because I experimented with leaving at 7:15 the other week, and now I've left at like 5 or maybe 7:08. And look at it. It's the difference in 5 or 8 minutes. Because when I leave at 7, we just go room. Not that I mind. I can read chat. Yeah, prayers for your little miss. And look, Deb's sending love too. I mean, this is perfect carpool karaoke conditions. Yeah, it is. It's piss weak carpool karaoke, though, because it's me. I don't have any cool, musically talented person sitting next to me or people sitting in my car. Uh-oh, yeah, not raining here, but you can see it going across the mountain. And what's over near the mountain, Deb? Your boat. Sorry, Gorge. Did you do some work on your boat yesterday? Because yesterday, oh my God, what a day. Tawny C. Hello. Well, we might be singing. Yeah, the bloody boat. Oh, I'm sorry, dolls. You might have to go like below deck and do some work inside. Get down the bowels of that thing and give it a scrub or something. I don't know. It was stunning yesterday. And that's why I've got this annoying spring in my step. Tawny, see, I have been singing pretty much since I woke up, much to Sunny's disgust and possibly some of my neighbours. Although the beauty of where we are, we're all on 3/4 of an acre blocks, so they're pretty big blocks, and so the neighbours aren't right next to you. And I have double glazing, so. But I was skipping around the house and rejoicing that I didn't have to pack a big winter coat. Although now look at the weather; it's not cold though. Well, it's 10 degrees, but I'm not cold. Yeah, watch the other boats, exactly. Sunny doesn't help me sing. She looks at me she judges me. She looks at me with judgment and maybe a hint of disgust and a hint of disappointment too. She's like, I can't believe I've landed in this amazing house by the beach. I get to fall asleep listening to the waves crashing on the sand. There's trees around the house. There's birds and wildlife for me to watch. She can't get to them, but she's like, I get fed the food that I love. The vet thinks I'm beautiful. When I go there, she makes sure everyone comes and says hello to me. I love all of Tori's friends and family. I make a point of getting up from wherever I am and going over and saying hello, except for my neighbour the other day. She didn't budge. Sonny could not be fucked. And then she's like, everything's wonderful except for the human. The human's batshit crazy. She gets up and sings and skips. Into every life a little rain must fall. I love that. I'll tell her that next time. That's a great quote. Into every life a little rain must fall. There you go, Deb. Are you listening? Are you listening? That applies to you too, Grover. Literally. Yeah, well, it's compared to some other animals, her having to put up with me being a bit nutty is really minor compared to other unfortunate little animals. So, but I always give her a job when I leave. Like I read a few weeks ago, because they get lonely and all the rest. But if you tell them they've got a job to do, they're okay. So her job is to look after the house while I'm away. And then when I get home, I'm like, oh my God, the house looks amazing. It's still here. You did a good job, Sonny. So I give her a treat. And she seems to like, I don't think it's changed anything at all, but I feel like she's happier now. She's got a job to do. Yeah, I was dressed at some point. I didn't get dressed straight away. Who does that? My house is like a fishbowl, so I'm respectful to my neighbours. I don't do nudie runs very often unless I have no choice. But I do keep thinking about getting blinds because I've lived in this house for nearly 8 years and I do miss nudie runs. They're fun. My sister, when she stays, doesn't give a fuck. I kind of feel if people look in the window and see naked middle-aged women running around sucked in, but I try not to be completely naked. But I might have been skipping around in a singlet and knickers at some point this morning. That's highly likely. Or maybe not even knickers, just a long singlet. Oh, I don't know. I'm not telling you that stuff. I had my hoodie on at one point. All right, let's see what song is on the radios.
If I was down on my knees,
I don't know that song. I'm on a really weird channel. Not weird in a bad way, like it's an unfamiliar channel. and it's great. They play a lot of country and western though, which is not my most familiar genre. So I might have to go for a little skippity doodah. Oh, I know that song, but I don't know the words. Is it Bon Jovi? It's not one of my faves. Well, it's not one of my even. I don't even know it. Is it? Is that the J Bo Joe? I think it is John. I think it is Bon Jovi, but correct me if I'm wrong. But I don't know that song. I mean, I heard him say he's going to get down on his knees for someone. Is he dating a little person? Is that what that song's about? Am I going to get yelled at now for politically incorrect jokes? I take song lyrics literally, people, and I visualize. Well, I mean, maybe he's proposing. That wasn't my first thought. You don't tend to sing about being on your knees? Oh, Eddie Rabbit. He sang the song about rain, right? Was he I Love a Rainy Night? What's Eddie Rabbit? I remember when I worked in a radio station for 7 years, and it killed my love of many songs. Was Eddie Rabbit I Love a Rainy Night? I think he wasted an opportunity with a name like that. I think he should have done a song about carrots and how much he loves carrots, because who's ever written a song about carrots? And they deserve a song. Fuck me dead, there's songs about everything else. Why isn't there a song about carrots? Your mind went in the gutter. Well, mine kind of did at one point, but then I went down the little person road, which was just as bad, really. I did do I Love a Rainy Night. Well, it's a rainy morning. So no, fuck Eddie Rabbit. If he'd written a song about carrots, I would have been more inclined. Why hasn't anyone written a song about carrots? Why couldn't it have been Someone Left My Carrot Cake in the Rain? Like, why hasn't anyone written a song about carrots? This is going to bug me all day. I'm going to be trying to think of a song that is about carrots now. All right, see if we can get Nonna's mind out of the gutter with another song.
3:55.
But no one talking. No talking. No, sorry.
Until 2:30.
Oh, shut up.
Past the airport.
Strong forever and never looks back.
Yee-haw! This is the channel. Well, that's a dirge and a half. It's heading into news time. They do brief news at 7:30, and it is 7:30. So this is so bizarre, isn't it? I literally leave home 5, 6, 7 minutes later than I normally do, and it's a completely different tripping. I'm still going to get into work with plenty of time, but I was faffing around a bit. I made a blueberry smoothie, and I just did. Well, I was doing a concert for Sunny. Basically, I had to finish that before I headed out. Yep, someone left the carrot cake out in the rain. I don't think that I can take it, because it took so long to bake it, and I'll never have that recipe again. Why won't she have that fucking recipe again? Like, fucking Google it, Donna Summer. God, I love Donna Summer. I haven't listened to her for a while. She was a disco queen. I fucking love Donna Summer. Well, like, why won't she ever have that recipe again? What did she do with it? Did she put it in the cake and then it got rained on and all the ink ran on the paper? Or, like, if you're never going to have that recipe again, it's because you did something dumb, Donna. What was it? And just fucking Google the cake recipe, and it may not be identical, but if you look long enough, you'll find one that's pretty close, or you might find the same recipe. I mean, it's not like there's a cake recipe that only you have ever had and nobody else. And if you fucking gave a shit about the cake, why did you put it outside when it was going to rain? I mean, there's so many questions in that song. I was about to say, don't anybody point out it was a metaphor, because I know that. And then look, Tawny C. Yeah, it was a metaphor. I'm taking it literally. Like I said, I take lyrics literally. It's a much funner way to listen to songs. I like to question. If you listen to a song and take the lyrics literally, there's discussions to be had. If we all just take it down the metaphor road, we'll have nothing to talk about. Well, I mean, I suppose we could talk about what it's a metaphor for, but who cares? I'd rather think about this dumb bitch making a fucking cake, sticking it outside. It gets rained on because, weather. Like, I mean, if I stuck a cake out on my deck this morning, well, would I not have been asking for a cake to be rained upon? And then in the meantime, she's bloody bleating about she's never going to have the recipe again. Why not? What happened to the fucking recipe? Hey, Trixie. Oh, God, Tawny's put an essay, and I'm assuming it's all about the metaphor. I've moved on from the metaphor. Yeah, I do. I picture a cake in the rain, too. And I picture this dumb bitch. Like, what did she do with the recipe? Why won't she ever have it again? I mean, I know Google wasn't around when that song was written, but she could have gone to the library. She could have borrowed her grandmother's cookbook. I mean, what the fuck? Where did the recipe go? Literal song lyrics. Like James Blunt. One of my favourite ones to critique. You're beautiful. He starts singing You're Beautiful, and there's this chick on the train, right? And he says with absolute ball-terror confidence that I've got a plan. So James tells everyone he's got a fucking plan. And then we hit the chorus. You're beautiful, you're beautiful, you're beautiful, it's true. I saw your face in a crowded place, but I don't know what to do. You said you had a fucking plan. You were very cocky, James Blunt, at the start. You were very cocky telling us all that you had a plan. And not even a minute into the song, now you don't know what to fucking do. What happened to your plan? Where's the plan gone? How did it go so fast? I can never be with you. But you had a plan to be with her. I mean, James, what happened? Don't be all ballsy and cocky and, hey, I'm hot, I've got a plan. She can't say no to me. And then you haven't even spoken to her yet, and now you don't know what to do. Do the plan. That's it. That'd be a good place to start, James. Stop bleating about how you don't know what to do and just do your fucking plan. So, yeah, that's another one that I always wonder what the fuck he was thinking. Clearly he wasn't. He certainly wasn't thinking long enough to remember his plan. So, yeah, take song lyrics literally. It's fun. Eskimo Joe, an Australian band. They've got a song called Sarah, right? Make a note of that. The song is called Sarah. The first line of the song, Sarah, is, Sarah, won't you tell me your name? Mate, it's fucking Sarah. Like, duh. Sarah, won't you tell me your name? Sure, Eskimo Joe, it's Sarah. I mean, it's the first word of the song is my name. In fact, the name of the song is my name. What the fuck are you on? Sarah, won't you tell me your name? Like, hello, what the fuck? If you think of any songs that have silly lyrics like that, let me know, because I love that shit. I just had a flash in my mind earlier of another one. When you take it literally, I can't remember the comedian, but there's a comedian who does you know that there she goes again. He's like, is she on a fucking roundabout? I like that one too. Maybe it's kind of like how you guys call a gal a Sheila. Oh, we called women Sheilas in the 70s. I don't think anyone calls them Sheila. I mean, there might be a few farmers who still call a chick a Sheila, but that's a bit retro. I haven't heard anyone. Oh, she's a nice Sheila. I haven't not heard that for a very long time. It's got nothing to do with Sarah. Eskimo Joe aren't saying, hey, Sheila, what's your fucking name? It's Sarah. And they actually call her by her name. If Paul Hogan still does. Oh, she's a good-looking Sheila. Oh, yeah, now you've given. Don't forget to use capitals, guys, because I won't be able to read much chat in a minute anyway. But Sheila, I haven't heard that for a long time. That is so retro Australian. It's not funny. I went on a date with this really nice Sheila. Took her to the pub for a palmy. Gave her a quick snog in the car park before driving her home. Sheila. I'm going to call someone a Sheila today. I'm going to get off the phone from a client and tell one of my colleagues, go, I just spoke to a really nice Sheila, and just see what they say. I'll be like, Tori, what's wrong? I feel like I'm high or something. I seriously have woken up all twitty. Spring. This seasonal adjustive disorder, it's a thing. And because we've got, I mean, I know it doesn't look very nice today, but it's not cold. I mean, it's not a hot temperature, but the vibe, the atmosphere doesn't feel that cold. There's no more snow on the mountain, so there's blossoms and baby lambs frolicking, and I guess I've just bought into that vibe, you know. I know, Sarah, your name keeps coming up, but I can't remember now if you're a Sarah or a Sarah. Sarah or Sarah, won't you tell me your name? Yeah, Tori, it's fucking Sarah or Sarah. Well, anyway. But I do like that there she goes, one of the guys, like, is she on a fucking roundabout? Because then I picture this chick just going around and around and around on a merry-go-round. Sorry, it says is she on a merry-go-round, not a roundabout. I just picture this Sheila sitting on a horse going up and down on a merry-go-round, and she keeps going past this guy. There she goes. There she goes again. And as always, on this drive to work, there's always the tailgater who thinks that the road works and the speed limit don't apply to them. Why do I always have them? There's so many fucking bad drivers in Tassie, honestly. It's like a bloody pandemic. We've had some really horrible car crashes lately too, like really bad ones. There was a horrible one on the weekend. There were a couple of horrible ones on the weekend, but one really bad one. Like 3 people killed. And you'd think that most people, like hearing something like that, and they don't know yet what caused it, and they're investigating it. But when you hear about stuff like that and read things like that, for me personally, it makes you, not that I'm a dangerous driver and I don't speed or anything like that. Here comes Tailgater who's speeding, by the way, in the rain, because, fuck you. But normally, like, you hear stories like that and you just think, it's sort of like a reminder to just take care on the roads, because there's so many fucking idiots on the road too. And then there's other people that just keep thinking they're invincible, like that car. That's just, probably doing about 20 or 30 k's over the speed limit now. Well, they won't be now because someone got in front of them, so now they've got someone to tailgate again. Good luck. I definitely can't read chat, guys, so I love you and whatever you're saying, it matters. I just can't read it or address it right now. Time for you all to give each other a group hug or something. Yeah, I don't know about you guys, but when there's a story about something awful that happened, it's a bit of a reminder, to sort of take pause and think about your own behaviour and if it needs addressing, and if you might make a bit of a mental note to stop taking risks when you're driving, for example. But other people just continue to be dickheads on the road. And the sad thing too is so many accidents. Well, I don't even use that word very often, but we call them motor accidents, just in line with motor vehicle accidents, in line with legislation. But it's incredible how many crashes. It's the irresponsible driver that walks away without a scratch, and then some poor innocent person loses their life because they just happen to be on the road at the same time as that fuckwit. I used to do personal injury law, and it used to strike me so much how many victims of crashes are innocent, and how often the person that was drink driving or speeding, driving negligently, just sort of almost walked away without any injuries. It happens a lot. It's horrible. It'd be like what I learned from COVID. There really are just 2 types of people in the world. There's the I wants, and then there's the we needs. And even when it comes to driving and road safety, there are people who drive factoring in the safety of everyone on the roads. Other people's safety is, look, obviously my safety matters, but keeping other people's safety in mind is my priority. But then you've got the I wants, and they're all like, well, I don't want to do the speed limit. I want to get to town. All this traffic is inconveniencing me. And there's no concern for anyone else on the road at all. My I need summary of human beings, and I honestly don't think there's a third type. They are literally the two types of people. It's the thing that COVID taught me. There were the people who just were happy to be a little bit selfless and think about everybody else for a while till governments got on top of, how to manage this thing. And then there were the I wants who didn't give a flying fuck and did whatever the fuck they wanted and didn't care if they got it or gave it to other members of their family, especially elderly members. But really, I cannot think of a third type of human being. Your I want or your we need, and that's it. And you beautiful people are all we needs. I know that. Hey, shady man. Okay, the Carrot Cake song. Yeah, but I want a song that I knew. Like, I meant a song I grew up with. I don't know that song. I mean, I can't imagine I'm going to like it. I don't even know the name of the singer, but thank you for letting me know there is a song about carrots. I'm just going down sort of thinking it's going to be like the Wiggles hot potato kind of thing. Like, I mean, there's an Australian singer, Paul Kelly, who has a song Who's Going to Make the Gravy. So I figure if Gravy gets a song, why doesn't the Humble Carrot? But it's getting on. It has informed me that there is a song about carrot cake. I meant more in my library of knowledge, but I stand corrected. Let's see if we can find a song now the news is over. Monday's her favourite day.
Gloria,
Have a lot of birds.
doesn't make much difference. You've got to buy all the.
I'm on the list now. All the hits from MCL now. I do 100.9 down to 50.
All talking.
It would be a big deal. I have cousins, one family.
华裔在目前澳大利亚这样子一个生存的状况来调查这些公益性的 topic 都有一个 project 会在最后一天的时候整个团队会来进行 present。
Well, there you go. I mean, well said. I can't really argue with that. Oh, it's a dirty rap song. There you go. Oh, no, now we're talking about our favourite Wiggle songs. What have I done? But, yeah, big difference leaving home. Like, I'm not complaining. I'm just, recording this statistic or this data for, I'm just placating nerds and, well, me. Yeah, very big difference. It's crazy. 5 or 6 minutes later, and like now I've been on the road for 43 minutes and I would be well and truly in the car park putting on my makeup by now if I'd left 5 or 6 minutes early. That's incredible. But yeah, I've got to stop experimenting. I know that if I leave at 7, I have a really good run in. End of story. Don't keep experimenting, Tori. It's not worth it. What a weird question, Scott, and no. I don't really know why you're asking that question. We have Indigenous Tasmanians, but, everyone here wears clothes because it's fucking cold right now. Probably more likely to see a half-naked Hogan walking around, to be honest. I think, well, definitely our tribal Indigenous Australians still do, but not where I live. But there are parts of Australia where a lot of our Indigenous still live as traditionally as they can. And obviously, you know, like any culture, they do wear their little traditional outfits when they perform and stuff like that, but not here, no. No, and look, even back in the day before white fellas invaded this country, even then in Tassie, their outfits were the outfit you're sort of thinking of is a very typical sort of Northern Territory, much hotter. Like here, our Indigenous population wore fur. They wore a lot of layers of fur because it gets really cold here. Well, not really cold compared to like, you know, minus 30 in Mongolia, but it's a place that you require warm attire, especially in winter. So if you look at photos, even today, if there's like, there's usually an auntie or an uncle that does the welcome to country at the start of official functions, and they've always got some sort of fur thing on, like draped over them. But that sort of stereotypical look that you're thinking of, I think, there are tribes in warmer parts of Australia who live quite traditionally that would probably go hunting in those sort of outfits. I don't know what to call them. Oh, fucking Nicole Kessinger in disguise. There's quite a lot of red cars on the road. I wonder what happened to her. Well, I mean, actually, I don't care, but yeah, I actually don't care what happened to her. And as far as Chris Watts goes, unless he's been shanked in the joint, I don't care about him either. Emily! Hello, darling. How are you? I tried an experiment again today because I've left home with the new roadway, so I've left home at 7. Smooth running every day. I left home at 7:15. Heavy traffic. I left at 7:05 or 7:06 today. Not as heavy as the 7:15 traffic, but getting heavier. It's crazy what a difference those 5 minutes can make. It's like a whole heap of people all just walk out their doors and get in their cars at the same time. But if you're just before that happens, smooth sailing. But if you fap around a bit like I did this morning and you make a blueberry smoothie, it's a different trip in. I'm still well before I start work. I'm not fussed at all. I just have this nerd streak that likes to investigate, research, and study and experiment because I'm a fucking dork. I'm a dorky dork. I like being a nerd. Like in my group of friends, I'm the only one that really loves technology. But my friends appreciate it. But when it's playing up, they're just like, oh, fuck. Whereas for me, I'm like, I'm going to solve this. I love troubleshooting technological issues. I have the patience to learn how to fix it and then go through the steps to fix it. And it's kind of dorky, I reckon. Because most of my friends just bundle up their bung laptop or whatever and take it to be fixed. Whereas I want to know why it happened and how to fix it and how to stop it happening again. Or if it does happen again, I have the knowledge to fix it straight away. And I find that very gratifying. When I was really little, my mum used to give me her necklaces that got tangled and had knots in them and stuff like that. You know, like fine chain necklaces, how they get little knots. Because I was so patient that I'd just sit there and unpick all these knots, and my siblings wouldn't cope at all. They'd just be like, you're on your own, mum. You get overwhelmed with technology if you don't have good direction. Yeah, and it can overwhelm people. I just, I don't know. I'm glad it doesn't overwhelm me because I don't need more stress in my life or anxiety. But it's a very dorky element to my personality that I like. And I guess that's why I did law, because law is problem solving, really, at the end of the day. So it doesn't really surprise me that I like learning how to fix things and solve the problem. But I was so proud of myself for learning how to fix the pressure on the boiler on my heating. Because that was mechanics that were outside of my sphere of knowledge and experience. I've never had a house with hydronic heating before, for starters, but there are a lot of different levers and buttons and things. But they do sometimes, the boilers sometimes lose pressure, and I wanted to be able to go out and fix it if it happened. So I learned me how to fix it, so I didn't have to call out the hydronic heating people all the time. And I was super proud of that. But then a handle came off one of the radiators, and I tried to fix that or work out how to use the radiator without the handle. But that one is a no fix, except putting a new handle on it. As soon as a new handle knob, I suppose it's a handle. It's not really a handle. It's like a little twisty, knobby thing. See, Scott's into that. Yeah, bit of car repair stuff. Actually, I've been meaning to Google it. Someone mentioned to me on TikTok there's a video where you pour boiling water over a dent in your car and use a plunger, and it pops straight out. And I've got a little one in the back of my car, so I'm going to try that. If I can pop out a dent on the back of my car using boiling water and a plunger, yeah, baby. It's not a big, yeah, it's like a little sort of, I suppose dent's the right word. Yeah, pop a dent with boy. So, things like that, I'm like, yeah, off to the hardware to make sure I've got the right kind of plunger. And away we go. Because, yeah, it's so satisfying to have an issue that you've never had to address before or even consider, really. And then you find the solution and it works. It's like, oh my God, I did that. I'm actually quite cool today. I did something cool. I knew my park would be gone. But I was hoping there'd be another that isn't reserved, and there's not. Unless this one up here is not reserved. And it is. And that one is too. Oh, buggerini. Buggerini. Oh well. Up ramp we go. Yeah, it's not a crease. There's no crease in it. Interesting, Scott. No, it's an actual curved dent. The lonely brick parking space is taken as well, Shady Man. I can't believe you remembered the lonely brick. I'm going to park here. This is the spot. You might try the hot water plunge, I think. Yeah, if I try it, I'll put it on, I'll do it live. All right, I'm just going to chuck a bit of a face on, Grievers. I'll go live and do it. But it's a bit of a, it's not a small one. I mean, that's one thing that may not be good is the size of the dent. But because mine's like, it's the size of a bollard that I reversed into. Well, it's not the size of the bollard, but it's like, imagine reversing into a pole, a bollard. So it's not like a little dent. It's got a bit of substance to it. It's only on my rear bumper. And it's curved. It's not, it doesn't have that crease that you were talking about, Scott. But it's not small. It's probably half a foot in size, maybe. I don't know. Be careful though. You can easily pull your bumper off. Your bumper. Oh, you can easily pull it off. Well, I don't want to do that. I might have to research before I will research before I make a decision. I'm very good at weighing up the pros and cons, and if the cons outweigh the pros, I'm more than happy to engage a professional. But we've got this guy that I used before. I had a work car that had some turd, bumped into it in a car park and didn't leave a note. And I was going to get it, take it to like a Bodyworks, and someone said to me, "Oh no, take it to the airbrush professionals." And I was like, "Well, what do you mean? Aren't they like people that put paintings down the side of your car? Isn't that airbrushing?" And they're like, "No, they fix dents and stuff." And so I went there, and they pop it out, and then they airbrush if they need to. If there's any damage to the paint, they just airbrush over it rather than, saying, "Oh, we're going to have to replace the whole bumper or side panel or whatever." And it wasn't that expensive either. I was amazed. So if the cons outweigh the pros, I'll take it to the airbrush professionals because I've seen what they do and it's incredible. And it's, a tenth of the cost of getting a panel replaced. just putting on my powder. Because I'm a professional makeup artist. We didn't really do we didn't do much singing. Use somebody, fill it as skin it and fill the crease in the day. Some body fill. Oh, I'm not going that far. And you're talking about your story, right? Yes, there'll be mascara today, Emily. I just put my specs on momentarily I'm in the habit now. I take everything. Not that there's a lot of stuff in my little makeup bag, but I take out everything that I have to use so that it doesn't get forgotten. I put it all on the seat, the things that I need. And that way they each get used and put into the bag as they get used. It's a foolproof system. That I've adopted. Oh, someone just in the car park's got 1927 playing, the band that I went and saw on Saturday night. It's brought back a lovely memory or three. Oh, guys, I did my taxes last week and I owe the tax department like big money because of a fucking mistake. I had both of my jobs had a tax-free threshold, so they weren't withholding tax on the first portion of my salary. Oh, for Sunny. Thank you. Red lippy? God knows. No. No, I'm a tinted lip balm kind of girl. I don't do red lipstick. Jesus. No, my boss does. She actually sells lipstick that doesn't come off. Like, she wakes up with it on, and I can't do that. I mean, I love that there's a product that doesn't come off, because even if I do wear lipstick, it doesn't even last, not even an hour on my lips. Unless it was that horrible purple one I got in a subscription box when I first started going live on YouTube that I couldn't get off. But no, I just wear tinted lip balms. I look, as soon as I put on bright lipsticks, I look like a 2-bit slapper. We've had this conversation before. Remember, I was going to do a live with us all going on camera and putting on lipstick so I could all laugh at how slutty we all look. I had big plans for lives like that through winter, and then winter just got crazy busy. It sounds like you did a great job. That probably all sounds a little bit too too detailed to me, that amount of work that you did on your car, but it sounds like you did a good job. That should actually be over here. Hey, Blissful! But yeah, I've got a couple of tinted lip balms, and so you get that sort of lip balm chapstick thing happening, but it also leaves a little bit of colour on your lips. But my lips are kind of colourful enough. I think that's why I look a bit tarty if I wear lipstick, because I've already got a fair bit of colour in my lips, so it just makes them even, whereas a bit of lip balm just adds a little sheen to them. But yeah, they sort of make the lipstick even more hardcore than it would be on someone who's got, like less colourful lips. I don't know. I'm not a makeup expert. But it's just not my personality either. I'm pretty chilled out, as you guys know. Like, I'm not very high maintenance when it comes to things like makeup because I don't like looking at my face in a mirror for ages. I'm like, slap it on and get the fuck on with your life kind of person when it comes to makeup. I was saying that yesterday, I can't understand how some of these YouTubers, the amount of time they must spend each day doing makeup. It's like, I just don't have that much time to spend on me. I have time to spend on me doing things that are amazing and everything, but not just like staring at my face, putting shit on it. No. I'd rather be, frolicking in the ocean. I forgot my sunnies again. I think I'm going to need them today, but I don't know where I've put them. That's bugging me. But yeah, I'm not that kind of girl. Like, I do get ready in 5 minutes to go out, sort of thing. Oh shit, what have I done with my hair though? Now my fringe is all weird from that little bit of makeup headbandage. I put a little headband on because I get makeup everywhere. I'm shocking. And I don't even use, like, my makeup's not even like that sort of caked on stuff. It's fairly light mineral makeup. Do a makeup tutorial. I don't think you'd learn much. You'd learn how to do minimalistic makeup, which probably wouldn't. Yeah, I can't. I don't know what I've done with my beautiful, funky sunnies. I'm a bit bummed about that. Maybe Sunny's wearing them at home. And then when I get home, she hides them. A makeup tutorial with me would be fun, you reckon? Would be terrible. And do you know what would happen? Everyone on YouTube who does makeup tutorials would slam me. Scott's still talking about what he did to the car. So the fact that you're still talking about it indicates to me it's a big project. I might as well just go and see the airbrush professionals. Tori's tutorial to put makeup in the car in 5 minutes. I could do that. I could put my bracket up a bit higher and do that one day. Sure. But then what will happen is all these people will be like, you didn't use highlighter and that's not how you apply eyeshadow. And you know what I mean? Because I just literally put a couple of blobs of colour on my eyelid and rub it together. Like, yeah, I'm a bit like you, getting on it. And I spend most of my life without makeup. Like, I wear makeup. I could collaborate with motherfucking Lynette. Actually, that would be funny. But more times than not, I don't have makeup on. Like, I wear makeup to work and I wear makeup when I go out, and that's it. Kind of navy greenish silver on my eyes. No, I could do browns, weirdly. They seem to make my blue eyes pop. Brown looks best on me for eyeshadows. I use like a medium brown and then a dark one on the outside, and that's it. Yeah, if motherfucking Lynette directed me, I would end up looking like a clown, let's be honest. A circus clown. But yeah, if I did a makeup tutorial, all these people would critique it. That's not how you do something. No, and that's the whole point. I'm showing you how you do makeup when you don't know how to do makeup. Duh. There is another person on YouTube who wants to do a makeup tutorial with Lynette. And she's like 5 or 6 years old. I mean, she's not actually on. She's on YouTube in videos that her grandmother does, but she doesn't have her own channel. Makeup is exactly like body work, Scott. You're so right. Oh yeah, Lynette's all about the makeup. But yeah, I think if I did mine, everyone would just be like, well, that was really quick and not proper and go away. I can't stand the colour purple, Shady Man. Don't you dare suggest things like that. You couldn't pay me to wear purple eyeshadow. I shit you not. You couldn't pay me to wear anything purple. I'm allergic to purple. It is like a colour that actually brings emotions out in me that I didn't know I had. You need spackle for your, like spack filler. That's what we call, I think what you're talking about is what we call spack filler, like when you're going to paint and you fill the creases in before you start painting. Amethyst, it's a shade of purple. Don't try and get around the purple by calling it a different name. If you say lilac next, I'm ending this live. In fact, I am ending it anyway. I'm ending it because I was skipping this morning and singing like a bird and being an absolute twit and bouncing around the house having a lovely time. And now my mood has been dulled at the mention of the colour purple. That's on you, Shady Man. Stay groovy, everyone. Have a gorgeous day, people. I'll see you all soon, but fuck purple.